degree in computer science and engineering. He is currently working as an assistant manager, talent and organizational development at L&T Construction. Mr. Selvarajan was awarded as the Young HR Achiever by the Larsen & Toubro, Mumbai in July 2020. In Toastmasters, he has won silver in Advanced Communication and bronze in Advanced Leader. Mr. Selvarajan was the district semi-finalist in ISC Ovation 2017, district champion in Table Topics Ovation 2018, and the district finalist in the ISC Ovation 2020. We welcome you, sir. And I would like to introduce our head of the Department of Human Resource Management, DG Vaishnav Dr.N.C. Martin. He is a highly experienced academician with about 20 years of academic and administrative experience as professor, HOD, dean, and registrar. He did his postgraduate in labor management and PhD in labor laws from Tamil Nadu Institute of Labor Studies. He started his career as a lecturer from the same institution. He held various positions in the Art and Science College, Engineering, and Media College. Held academic positions in various educational institutions such as Sri Chandrababu Jain College as an assistant professor and HOD of MSW department, Sam's College of Engineering and Technology as a professor and HOD of MBA department. He was also the placement officer for entire division of Sam's College of Engineering and Technology. During his tenure, he successfully placed engineering and management graduates in top-notch companies of manufacturing and service sectors across the country. He continued his career in St. Joseph's College of Arts and Science as a Dean of Academics and L.V. Prasad Film School, one of the best film schools in Asia, working as a registrar. He has acted as a jury representing EFSI for the selection of companies for the best HR practices for the year 2018-19. He has added a number of research papers and publications to his credit, and he is expert in the subject of labor legislations and industrial relations. He has given central results in various HR specialized subjects in the university examinations. We welcome you, sir. There would be a Q&A session at the end of the hour. Kindly unmute yourself or post your questions in the chat box. This session will be recorded for academic purpose. Now, I request Dr. N.C. Martin to speak a few words about our facilitator for the day.
Yeah, thank you, Vaishnav, for the introduction and present putting it to one all participating. So, first of all, I am very pleased to invite our resource person, Selvarajan, Assistant Manager, Talent and Organization Development, L&T Construction, and professors from various institutions, dear students, as well as HR fraternities. So the topic for the day is green thumb. So initially, even I initially thought, what is about the green thumb? But when Googled, so I come to understanding that it's about natural talents to grow plants in a natural habitat. So it is very challenging for any plant to grow in a natural habitat. So as it has to withstand many threats from nature like lack of rain, sunlight, and even from other endangered species, we can say. So all plants are not successful in their growth, and only few are able to succeed when it's able to withstand all sorts of obstacles and threats from the nature. So likewise, in this context, an individual, in order to be very successful in his career, so he has to be very competitive, and he has to learn and develop new skills and expertise during his career lifetime. So the development is related to maybe your current role or the role you want to do next. So personal development fits alongside professional growth. So if you want to progress in your career, you need to develop personally first. Here, the role of a mentor plays a very significant role. So the role of a mentor is to encourage the personal and the professional development of the mentee through sharing of knowledge, expertise, and experience. At the same time, the mentee should cooperate and show interest towards it. And this phase is very crucial for both in terms of how they build their rapport towards a particular objective of teaching and learning process. The mentoring relationship is built on the mutual trust, respect, and communication, and it involves both the parties meeting regularly to exchange ideas and discuss progress, and also to set the goals for further development. So, a mentor may share with the mentee information about his or her career path, as well as provide guidance, motivation, emotional support, and role modeling. So the role of mentor, as mentioned, is a very crucial. Okay, a mentee also should see that how far he is able to cooperate and also to understand in what way he can develop his career and also groom his skill, whatever it is being required. So here the mentors help mentees learn the ropes at the company. So it develops a relationship across the organization and identify the skills that should be developed or improved upon. So the personal development can contribute to one's maturity, so success and satisfaction. So many people build the personal development skills throughout their lives to better themselves and reach their goals. So they can do this through education, advice from the mentor, self-help, and more. So I wish all the best for the participant, and also here I once again welcome our resource person to share his insights and experience so that it could be very beneficial for all the participants to groom in their career. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that introduction, sir. Thanks a lot for that. Are we good to go? Can we start?
Yes, sir. You can proceed, sir.
Okay. To all the participants, am I audible?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay, great. To the other participants, am I audible? A few of them have replied through chat. Okay, yes, sir. Because people consider this a new normal, and in this new normal, which people assume the best way to greet the other person on the other side is by asking, am I audible? Am I visible? Because that has been the trend in the recent days. Thank you so much for those responses, friends. This pandemic personally has given me, or gifted me, I would say, with opportunities to connect with people around the world over the last 6 to 8 months of time. And I believe we are all staying in a closed avenue because of COVID-19, and people are striving and struggling hard to find a vaccine for this virus, but still it is still like a cat on the wall. And very soon COVID-19 is going to celebrate its first birthday, I believe. Varshini from the institution and the principal gave me a very good introduction by setting the context. And I feel great pleasure in addressing you all through this webinar. And also I now feel a great pressure on me, because whatever introduction was given by Varshini was what I gave her, but the actual introduction is completely different. If you remember late President Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, this man had given a very profound phrase in English. And the phrase goes this way. There is a beautiful statement in English which states, the only day your mother smiles when you cry is on your birthday. But when I was born, my entire family, including my mother, was crying, because they were anticipating a beautiful female child, and I could not satisfy both those adjectives. My parents put me in a very reputed institution for my school education, and all my friends were scoring marks in the range 98.5, 99.6, 99.8, whereas I was scoring marks in the range 36.5, 37.6, 38.5. Now, don't find any difference in that. We both were scoring the same marks. The only difference was they were scoring in Fahrenheit and I was scoring in centigrade. That was the only difference. And as years rolled, 12th standard examination approached. Board examination, they would say. In India, you can fail even in life, but not in a board exam. The result of my 12th standard exam was out. My friend Karthik scored 198.5 as his cutoff. Now, cutoff 1 from his cutoff, that was my cutoff. Soon after my school education, I badly wanted to study medicine. As I studied badly, I ended up choosing engineering. 4 years of engineering, I scored 98.5% only in attendance. Days passed, months passed, years passed. I never passed. But despite being an average performing candidate, despite being a low performer student, despite being an underrated student or a kid, there has always been one person in the world to love you more, to take good care of you, and it's none other than your mother. I was no different. My mom takes good care of me, and not just me, more than me, my mom loves growing plants. And I would say she always has a green thumb. Green thumb, as Dr. Martin, your head of the department, said, it is the ability and knack of an individual, of a person, to grow plants despite so many hardships, despite so many difficulties and challenges in its habitat, in its atmosphere. Now, when plants require an expert hand, a skilled man's touch, a person with a green thumb, with an ability to grow plants without any hassles, without much challenges, then what does a fellow human being need to grow in his life in terms of personal front and also in the professional front? Now, when we deep dive into this, people gave me so many answers. Train them on certain skills, train them on the technical skills, nurture them with behavioral and soft skills, put them into this training, put them into this scenario, case-based analysis, so many things, so many ideas, so many suggestions. But the return on investment and all these trainings and all these coaching sessions and all these case-based scenarios were not up to the mark, but there was something missing in all these parts. And that is when we realized, why is a human being not able to give a better return on investment, or anything that is imposed, any process that is given to a human being does not come out with flying colors? Why is that? And that was one question running in many minds, including mine. And that is when I realized that human beings are not thinking machines that feel, they are feeling machines that think. They are more bound to emotions. They always expect an emotional connect with something around them, with the people they hang out with the things they possess. Now, if you look at the gadgets that you carry, including your mobile phone, your pen, your wallet, or any object, any non-living object that you possess, even that would have a very truthful, very honest, and a very sincere story behind that. It is because you have an emotional connect with them. The same way is with your family members. You have an emotional connect with them. So when we serve emotion as a mean to human beings, to individuals, that would help them groom and grow better in their life, is what we felt. And you and I are no different from that. And I have my own experience being nurtured by a fellow human being, by another individual with expert knowledge and exposure in various arenas, or at least in a few areas where I wanted to groom myself. In corporate terminologies, in HR language, we denote that person with expertise in something or in some field as a mentor. A mentor is someone who helps a fellow human being, an individual, to grow. In fact, a mentor is once again a person with a green thumb who has the ability and a knack to nurture and groom human beings in their personal and in their professional life. Now, when I put forth this sentence, I always used to have this question in my mind: what does a mentor do that a teacher or a trainer does not do? What does a mentor do that a role model or somebody whom I admire does not do? Now, answers came in different ways when I was analyzing it all by myself. And that is when I found out that a teacher is someone who leads by education. A role model is someone who leads by example. And a mentor is someone who leads by experience. The path that you're currently traveling has already been traveled by the mentor that you have. He has already traveled that path. He has been there and he has done that. He has done what you are currently aiming to do, and he knows the mistake that you are going to commit in your life. And more importantly, when people ask, why do I need a mentor when I have so many people helping me around? Even when I work for an organization, every year I sit for a performance appraisal discussion. My boss tells me these are the points that you have done well, and these are the points that you have not proved your excellence in that. And when I compare both, the list that is uttered as my strength is much smaller than the list that is pointed out as my weakness. Now, people tell me these are your strengths, these are your weakness in every performance appraisal in an organization. And even when you sit for a discussion, somebody gives you a feedback, no, the way you talk is not so appropriate. But nobody tells me or guides me or suggests me how should I do that better. They give me the what part of everything, but they don't give me the how part of anything. And that is one challenge every man, every individual face in his personal life as well as in his career. He doesn't know, she doesn't know how to improve. They know what to improve, but they don't know how to improve. They don't know the path in which they are supposed to travel. And I would like to share a small presentation that I have for you. Please tell me if my presentation is visible so that I can proceed further. I'm sorry, I'm not able to.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. And here in front of the screen, you find an animal. Can you let me know what animal is this? What is the name of this animal? Have not seen before? Okay. This animal is called the musk deer. Now, from this name itself, you'll be able to find what is this animal good at. Musk is a component that is aromatic in nature, which is used to produce perfumes in abundance. And that musk is taken from this animal. But this animal doesn't know that it is capable of producing musk, which values to a greater extent and which has the ability to spread the aroma everywhere around. This animal is incapable of analyzing or dissecting or observing or finding its own strength and abilities. And there needs to be someone to tell this animal that this is your strength and your strength has a greater value. No, there is nobody to say that, and this animal has that ability. Same way, here in front of you, you have the photo of a person. Now, people who are looking at me as well as the photo, please don't start finding out 7 differences between both the faces. They would definitely be completely irrelevant. Now, once again, this has a very close association with the concept that I wanted to relate along with the musk deer. Now, every human being has a nose above their mouth. And when you don't brush your teeth continuously for 2 days or 3 days, you won't be able to feel the bad breath or the odor, though your nose is just above your mouth. But everybody else around you in that particular room will be able to spot that inconvenience. And there needs to be someone to tell you that this is your opportunity for improvement. This is the area where you need to work out to improve. This is your weakness, and this is how you should be doing this. And to tell that weakness, that there is something wrong with you, to tell you that strength, that you have the musk in you, it is highly valuable. You need somebody called the mentor. Now, in my personal life, I have had my mentor who is very friendly and approachable. Now, let me tell you, you tell me so many things about there needs to be a mentor to find your strengths, to help you guide through your weakness. But who is a mentor? How do I find my mentor? Why should I find my mentor? Now, answers to all these questions, I would definitely be glad to share with you. Imagine two personalities in your life. Someone whom you like the most, someone you hate the most. Now, though the person whom you hate the most tells you something that is perfectly correct, that is absolutely right, you still will not be able to take his or her inputs despite he or she being right. And you would only be interested in turning a deaf ear to his or her words because he or she is the person whom you hate the most. A mentor should not fall into that category. He should be someone whom you like, whom you admire for his traits and values he possesses. And he should know you well. You should know him or her well. And choose somebody of that sort who could add value to your life. And that person should be your mentor. Now, I had my maths teacher in my 11th standard who used to tell me, teaching differential calculus and integral calculus to Selvarajan is the most tedious task that I've ever done. It is very difficult to teach him both because however I teach him, whatever methodologies or pedagogy I rely on, everything goes in vain and I'm not able to succeed in doing that. She used to say that. But after a few months, she came with innovative approach to teach me differentiation and integration. And then she told me these words: if I have to teach mathematics to you, I need to know mathematics and I need to know you. The same happens in terms of mentoring as well. If you have an aspiration in your life, be it at the personal front or at the professional front, your mentor should be able to guide you on that arena and also know you better. When your mentor knows both these subjects to the best extent possible, you will have a mentor who will be able to guide you through the journey that you are to take in your life. Now, if I have to share my experience in terms of mentoring, I had a mentor named Shamraj. Now, he was my school senior. We both studied in the same school. He was 4 years senior to me. Soon after school education, he joined as a software engineer with Infosys. And after 4 years of time, his career took a U-turn. He was passionate about training and he quit his job and he came back to his native and started his own training industry. Now, soon after completing my school education, I went into engineering and I was campus recruited by two companies, TCS and Infosys. I was hired for the role of a software engineer. My engineering projects were based on website design and development. And I had completed 17 mini projects on website design and development even before my campus recruitment. So I was recruited by two companies and both the companies released their offer letter close to 10-11 months later after my engineering education graduation. So I completed my engineering in the month of May, but my offer letter, my joining letter came only in the month of March the next year. So in between, I had close to 10 months and I wanted to make good use of these 10 months. So I had two options. Either I can hang out with my friends, spend some time in my knowledge upgradation, learning a few technical concepts pertinent to software engineering, or I can look for better opportunities, hang out with friends, have fun, and spend the entire 10 months of time doing nothing but having fun. And at that point of time, I got his contact once again, and he asked me this question: Selva, I'm running a training organization where we train the students of schools and colleges on soft skills and communication skills. If you are interested, till you receive your date of joining with TCS, you may come and get acquainted with me. Let's work together for the next 9-10 months. Once you receive your date of joining, you can join TCS. And I'm sure this experience would be of greater assistance and help to you when you join TCS, he said. I thought for a while And I said, okay, I'm ready to do that. I'll be glad to associate myself with you. I'm okay for this. And immediately he gave me an offer letter. And it was printed in that offer letter that my monthly salary was 7,000 rupees. I did not even expect that I'll be paid for a job, that I'll get paid. I'll be able to earn money even before I joined TCS. So 9 months of time, I was with him. So many experiences, so many stories, so much of insights we both shared and discussed together. We made decisions, and the partnership was very good. When you choose your mentor, or choosing a mentor is not similar to the process of an arranged marriage. You cannot go walk up to someone and ask, will you be my mentor? I'm so and so. I have this qualification. I'm qualified this way. This is my aspiration. I feel you are excellent in that. You are good. You have proved your excellence and efficiency in that area. Can you be my mentor? No, it does not happen that way. I never asked him, will you be my mentor? But as I started moving along with him, every trait that he possessed, every value that he had for himself in terms of life, in terms of business, in terms of approaching people, in terms of attitude, inspired me. And I wanted to have him as my mentor in everything that I do, for everything. Because in terms of his business, in the way he meets and greets people, approaches people, I was highly inspired, and I was propelled by his abilities to get closer to him. And I wanted to have him as my mentor in my career. And the way he interacts with people, he deals with friends, he deals with family, once again inspired me, and I wanted to have him as my mentor for my personal life as well. And both is happening till now, and it's a journey of 7 years till now, friends. It's a journey of 7 years. All it started in the year 2013, and it is still continuing. I chose him as my mentor without any tag. He was not designated as my mentor, but I go to him for any solution or suggestion. And soon after the 9 months of tenure with him was over, once I received my date of joining with TCS, I joined TCS, and I was working for an UK-based, an US-based banking client, Citibank. Now, after 1 year in TCS, I applied for my H-1B visa to fly to Texas, United States. And in the lucky draw, in the lottery, my visa was rejected. And I was a little disappointed and frustrated. And in the meanwhile, I did a few HR certifications pertinent to business development, business partnering, training and development. And I also carried 10 months of training experience when I was working with Mr. Sham. Now, at that point of time, I met the learning and development head of TCS and said, I am not so interested or passionate towards working as a software engineer, developing codes. Now, if there is an opportunity in the talent development team of TCS, please take me inside. I hold 10 months of experience as a trainer. I have facilitated many sessions to students of school, to students of college, and even to faculty of institutions on these skills. So if there is an opportunity, I'll be more than happy to associate myself, because I'm very much passionate in growing and grooming my career only in that area, I said. In the next 3 days of time, she called me once again and said, there is an opportunity here. If you're interested, I'll talk to your project manager. Let him release you from that project and take you here. Now, I was a little confused. I went to her and asked if there is an opportunity, please take me in. But I'm actually an engineering graduate. I don't have a proper management studies graduation. But how will I be able to go and survive there? That was my question. And once again, I went back to him and asked, I have got an opportunity this way. Now, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And he looked at me and said, okay, since you're an engineer, I don't want to give you any solution, do this or do that, but this time I would follow a different approach. Since you're a computer science and engineering graduate, Selva, I think you should not take that opportunity. Better discard that and continue with coding, with programming, because you're educated in that. I thought for a while and said, I'm okay with that. Okay, I'll go ahead with that decision. but we were driving in a car by that time. And then after a while, I said, but I don't think it's much interesting, because when I was working with you here for 10 months of time, every time I face an audience, every time I stand in front of an audience, I could feel that adrenaline rush. I could feel that I can be a little more creative. I have that competitive nature that when you deliver a session and when I get a chance to deliver the next session, I should be far better than you. I used to get that competition internally, but when I'm working as a programmer, when I work as a software engineer, I'm not able to get that adrenaline rush. So I'm not sure that I should continue as a software engineer. Shall I take the training opportunity? I asked him once again. He smiled and said, I want you to take this decision, because me giving you the decision is not going to help you in any way. You know what will satisfy you the most. You know what is interesting you the most. Though you don't have a formal education as a management graduate in management studies, you still have the ability to cope up with all the lessons that is required, and you'll be able to succeed and do well in that area. So I think you should change your profile now. It's been just 1 year since you have started your career as a software engineer, and even before that you have 9 months of experience as a trainer. So going forward, if you take this role, you'll grow in terms of your happiness as well as in terms of experience and exposure. So I think you should take that. My mentor did not give me a concrete idea. He just played along with me. In fact, a reverse psychology, I would say. And then he made me find the solution. He did not give me the solution. Now, a good mentor is someone who always does that. When you go to him with a problem, the solution is something that is here. He will not take you from here and he'll put you here. No good mentor does that. He'll just stay here and show you that here is the solution, and these are the various paths in which you can travel to attain the solution. Now you tell me which path you want to take. That's it, simple. And that was what my mentor said. And after shifting to the training career, shifting to the training department in HR, now 3 years later, I went up to him and said, I've got hit by this usual routine in TCS. It's boring me a lot, facing the same audience again and again, talking to the same leadership and management team. I think I need a change. I've got an opportunity with L&T Construction, once again as an assistant manager in the talent development team. Shall I pick that opportunity? It's a completely different industry though, from software to construction. Let me just give a try, I think. What do you say? And he said one thing. The role of a speaker and a trainer or somebody who is in the learning and development is to influence many, is to touch the lives of many, is to help transform many. And I think you have done enough in TCS for your designation. The world is not so small, it's big enough. Better explore the other area also if you feel like doing it. And but I don't know, there is a challenge in terms of the industry. You are moving from software and you are getting into construction. I don't know how you are going to make that up and how you are going to handle it. I once again thought for a while and said, that's okay. After school, I went into college, whereas I had to lose my friends at school and then I had to find new friends at college, and I survived for 4 years. And after college, once again, half of my friends did not get placed. They were trying through off campus, whereas I got placed and I had to get my job. Just because I felt that I have a very close association with my friends, it doesn't mean that I can stay a long time with them. I'm still connected with my friends. Okay, I'll move away out of TCS, get into L&T. It's once again still a bigger organization. Let me give it a try, I said. And once again, he said, that's good, try, go ahead. And it's been so many days since I joined L&T, so many years, but no regrets. The journey is amazing. And once again, my mentor did not tell me that I have to do this and not that. He once again gave me a suggestion. Now, the third time when I went to my mentor was in finding my life partner. See, you and I are in Toastmasters, and there is a girl I like in Toastmasters. He looked at me with a shock because we he, I, and the girl, we were very closely associated with each other, and you never told me, he said. It just grew up. It's too early, I felt. And yes, I like a girl in Toastmasters. He never uttered a word after that, and we went for a long drive. And he asked me, "Do you like any other girls?" He asked. And I said, "Okay, what do you mean by that?" "Okay, just tell me that you have a crush on somebody, you like somebody, and somebody is worth admiring." I said a few names. "Okay, why don't you get married to any of these girls? And why specifically the one in Toastmasters?" he asked. I said, "I don't know. Uh, we don't have, we feel everything is common between us, but there is a slight difference. And I think it is worth adapting. And this is something that I don't want to give it a try. And I don't have any such thoughts." And once again, he said, "Okay, if you like her and if she likes you, go ahead, proceed," he said. And once again, he gave me a few suggestions which I had to incorporate. And taking up the few lessons which I haven't shared with you, we both spoke to our parents and we got married and we live happily. Once again, apart from my profession, apart from my career, my personal life decision was once again being influenced or being suggested by my mentor positively. So my mentor had played a very crucial role in influencing my personal life as well as my professional life. Now, after joining L&T, after tasting the fruit of happiness, I would not say after tasting the fruit of success, I would say tasting the fruit of happiness, because I always believe that the happiest man in the world is always a successful man. And after tasting that fruit, at L&T, I felt there is a problem in terms of engagement and in terms of growth, in terms of learning for the portfolio that I manage. And at L&T, I handle the new hire trainees. That has been my role. And at the organization, the new trainees whom we hire, they find disengaged at their work location at various project sites. The reason being, they come fresh out of college into a corporate and they don't know what to do. They don't know how to do things. They find everything Greek and Latin, and there is no single person to hold their hands and guide them appropriately. And as a result, attrition was peaking like anything, and we were losing good talent in the organization. So we thought, why don't we incorporate or inculcate the skill, the art of mentoring to the trainees, to these new hire trainees, so that we save the talent, we preserve the fresh talents rather than losing them in the form of attrition. And then we incorporated or we initiated the concept of mentoring for the trainees. So now, having taken you from my personal journey in terms of mentoring, how this was incorporated at an organization level is what we are traveling towards. And once the trainees join the organization, they will be assigned with an expert or an experienced employee as their mentor. And these employees will guide the new hire trainees over a period of time, say 1 year of time, on their skills that they need to grow, on breaking their silo mentality, on their exposure, on the people of the organization, on the business of the organization, and the system of the organization. And when they are being nurtured or guided by somebody in the form of a friend, in the form of a philosopher, the trainees felt more comfortable. Okay, I have somebody to take care of me. I have somebody to tell me what I'm supposed to do. I have someone with an expert knowledge to tell me how I'm supposed to do things. And that way, okay, I'm not between the devil and the deep sea. I'm very safe. I'm happy. And the rate of attrition got down slowly. And just for your understanding, I thought I would share those information also with you now. Please tell me if my presentation is visible.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you, ma'am. Thank you so much. So at the organization level, we initiated the concept of mentoring for the trainees with the objective. Now, once the trainees come into the organization and they are posted at their respective project sites, they find experienced heads everywhere around, and they feel that, okay, I'm not so good at doing things. I'm the least capable in the team, and I cannot survive here for a long time. Let me not move along with people. Let me stay silo. No, we don't want to let that weed grow in the minds of the new joiners. So to break the silo mentality, at least we need somebody to guide them, stating that no, this is not a huge mountain to move. This is just a small stone which you can roll it with ease. To bridge the knowledge gap, when they join the organization fresh from the college, they will not be they'll be having theoretical knowledge more, but not the practical or experiential knowledge. So to tell them that they have to grow in a few areas, and what are those few areas they were in need of some expert advice, and that person was the mentor to do that. And while doing both these things, it eventually improved productivity from the employees, from the trainees, and professionally they were developed. Everywhere the mentor goes, and whenever or wherever possible, the mentors took the trainees along with them, and they were able to give them the exposure that is required to learn a few things in an organization. And this encouraged retention of talent in the organization and brought down the attrition rate within the organization. Now, L&T is an organization that has projects or work pan-India. In almost every state, there is a project that L&T is working on. So we deal with multicultural people from various states who speak different language. And these trainees, a trainee from Tamil Nadu, if he gets posted somewhere at Maharashtra, he needs to learn the language of Maharashtra, and then he has to learn Hindi as well. But when he, in the initial days of time, he has to understand the modes of communication from the other side, and the mentor helped him to learn or to deal with people appropriately. And all these objectives were satisfied effectively and efficiently through the art of mentoring. And this was the framework that we adopted to mentor the trainees. We identified experienced employees who are at least 10 years experienced in the organization, and we trained them on effective mentoring skills. We trained them on the mindset of millennials. We trained them on how to handle people. The orientation of people management was given to them. And when all these initial coaching and training were given to the identified experienced people, they were designated as mentors to the new joiners of the organization. And once we onboard the fresh talent, we organized a mentor and a protege meeting. The trainees and the mentors met together, and they discussed their aspirations, they discussed the goals, and they charted out their individual development plan. So every month they spent at least 2 hours in continuously to discuss their action items, to make a note of the minutes of the discussion, to check for the backlogs if any, and then work on their progress. And this continued for 12 months of time, and this brought down the attrition level to a greater extent. And the role of the HR was to be an enabler, was to be an interface between the mentor and the trainees. And at the end of the program, at the end of 1 year of time, when the trainees got their probation period over, and when they were confirmed as employees and not trainees anymore, we recognized all those mentors who helped the trainees better in their career. So this was the framework that we followed in the organization to mentor the trainees, the new joiners. Many organizations believe that mentoring is something that is required only at the leadership level to grow the next leaders, to plan for the succession, to check the leadership pipeline. No, it is not that way. Wherever there is a problem in terms of a human, whether it is a human-made problem or a system-made problem. But when a human is being affected there, when an individual is being affected some way or the other, the concept of mentoring plays a critical and a crucial role in fixing that glitch and issue. And here we incorporated this initiative at the entry level for the trainees, and this helped the organization retain fresh talents, and the percentage of attrition drastically went down after launching this initiative. Now, after the program, we assigned responsibilities to each of the category. The mentor identification was done by the talent development team of HR in consultation with the various project managers at different sites and the head of human resource. Now, after consulting with them, after doing enough amount of profiling through Thomas Key assessments, through MBTI, we identified, okay, these are the people who are eligible and capable to become mentors, and they can be believed and trusted to handhold the trainees, and they'll be able to serve the purpose better. So the identification step was once again the first in the process. And then we had the mentor capability building, where I told you about the effective mentoring skills program, understanding the millennial mindset, people orientation, handling people. So all these capability building sessions and orientations were delivered to groom them as mentors. And finally, the third step is the mentor-mentee meet and goal setting, which was one of the parts in the framework. And every 3 months, every quarter, the progress was reviewed by the HR team to understand if the train is on the track without getting derailed. Because once we start something, finishing that is even more important, because finishing it properly will serve the purpose and objective of why it was started. So there were 4 checkpoints, once in every 3 months, to check if the initiative was successful, to groom the trainees and it went so well. And whenever there was a glitch or derailing happening, it was once again put back to the track so that the train moves forward. And the 5th point, you find something as TEDC intervention. It is abbreviated as Trainees Engagement and Development Center, which is one unit of the talent development team in HR, which crucially played a role in frequently interacting with the mentors as well as the trainees to understand the purpose or how the initiative is going on, how comfortable the mentors are, how comfortable the trainees are in being mentored by the experts and experienced employees. So at regular intervals, surveys and feedbacks were rolled out, and every now and then the HR team visited the project site. The trainees and the mentors were met individually to understand the efficiency and efficacy of the program, of the initiative. So each of us in the organization, each of us in the department took our roles and responsibilities sincerely to launch this initiative and to continue this initiative, if I have to mention it very specifically. So the responsibility matrix at the organization level was made very clear. And after 1 year of time, the trainees came back with a few testimonials, and they said, my mentor is non-judgmental and transparent. Every time when I open up to him stating that this is my pain point, this is something that I don't like to do, I know this is something good for my growth, but I don't want to do that because this is not as interesting as it is supposed to be, and I don't want to take that out. Now, when a trainee says that, the mentor does not judge him, but makes him understand or makes her understand the importance it carries. And the trainee has given such a testimonial that my mentor is non-judgmental and transparent. And they have helped the trainees to take responsibilities and get out of their comfort zone. And they have shared stories, to be very specific and precise. The mentors have to be very good storytellers, I would say. More than sharing your success stories, tell your failure stories to your mentees, to your proteges. Because your failure story will give them a confidence that, okay, I'm not someone who is at the pit. Even I can strive and struggle to climb up. So your failure stories will inspire your proteges. And the trainees found much comfortable to adapt to the organizational culture, and they were able to once again find their own strengths and work on the opportunities. They were able to discover that, okay, even I have a musk in me, which is highly valuable. And the trainees were able to do that as the result of mentoring them. And a few mentors even wrote to us back stating that not just they learned from us, not just that we guided from them, we also got ample opportunities to take up lessons back from them. I used to be very poor in handling gadgets, in being active in social media. But when I sat with so-and-so person who is a trainee, he taught me how should I use Facebook better. He taught me how should I use LinkedIn better. And I was able to get such lessons from him. And another mentor told us that I was able to understand how should I deal with millennials. I have a son who is in his 7th standard. He should be hardly somewhere around 12, 13 years by now. And when I mentor this trainee, I was able to understand the mindset of the younger generation. And whatever he said is something similar to what my son says. And I'm able to understand the perspectives, the differences in them. And I'm able to deal my son well now. It is all because of what I have learned from the way I dealt with my protege through this training. So not just mentoring, reverse mentoring also happened there, I would say. So mentoring is not a one-way process. It is a two-way process. And that was something that we concluded at the end of the first batch of mentoring the trainees. And as a result, we were able to find that there are 5 types of mentors. Someone who is the master of the craft. When you go to somebody for some expert knowledge, and he would already be an expert in that area, and he is the master of the craft. For example, if you want to learn football, if you go to Ronaldo, he'll already be a master in that, and he is called the master of the craft. And the second type of the mentor is the champion of your cause. You have a purpose to do something in your life, and your mentor connects you with the person concerned to take you in that journey. And the third type of a mentor is a co-pilot who takes care of your growth and you take care of his growth. You move together as friends, as acquaintances together, so that you both are acquaintable for each other's growth there. And the final one, the fourth one, is the anchor. Someone who is like your family, someone who is a very close friend of yours. You would have taken a decision in life, but at some point of time, because of the difficulties and challenges in the journey, you would have taken a decision that, no, I don't want to continue with this. Let me quit this. And when you take that decision, you will have your mentor to back you up. No, you should not quit this. You took this decision for a solid reason, and you are not supposed to quit it. Continue. I'll be there for you. And your mentor says that. The final one is the reverse mentor. You learn from them and they learn from you. So these are the 5 types of mentors. Now, having shared my personal experience in being mentored by my senior, and my experience is being applied at the organization level. And once again, at the organizational level, it had been successful, and we were able to taste the fruit of happiness once again there. And I gave you 5 different types of mentors here. And my mentor had been a combination of all these 5 types altogether in my personal and professional life. And he had helped me find solutions by offering suggestions, and he never found a solution for me. Now, if you are at the rock bottom and if you have to climb the mountain top, the journey is going to be very tedious, but your mentor will be with you, holding your hands. If you have chosen the right mentor, you will reach the mountain top for sure. And before closing today's session, all that I wanted to tell you is find your green thumb so that you grow in life, and be someone's green thumb so that you grow someone in their life. Having said that, let me close the session and leave for Q&A, Fanny. Yes, sir.
Hello, Silva.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Vikram here. Good evening. Thanks for enlightening us with your experiences and thoughts. It was a wonderful experience to listen. I just have a question. For example, if I have to choose my mentor, for example, because you said you are lucky enough to have a mentor with all the five qualities,
Yes.
right, which you
Yes.
highlighted. But if I have to choose a mentor, assume that I am starting my college life, or I'm in the middle of my college life, or in my career, and if I have to choose a mentor, what are the attributes that I should possess so that I can easily identify a mentor who can help me out
Okay.
in growing?
Have the attitude of a follower. Be a humble follower with humility. That is one attitude somebody who needs a mentor should possess, I would say. Because somebody who has the ability and the skill of asking questions will be intellectual. Somebody who is intelligent will have the ability to ask questions. But the one who has the ability to listen and surrender himself to the mentor, being a humble follower, will be able to find all the answers. So when you're ready to listen to somebody, your mind will give you the answer that if this person says I'm ready to listen, and that person is going to be your mentor. We all have our favorite teacher in our lives during our school education, for sure. If that teacher teaches, even if the subject is not so easy to understand, just for the sake of listening to the teacher, we'll keep pin drop silence in the classroom and listen to them by paying respect. So that kind of a person should be identified as our mentor. And if you're ready to have that follower mindset in choosing in choosing your mentor better, that is one attribute you should carry with you always, I would say.
Thank you. Thank you, Silva.
Thank you so much, sir.
In case of doubts, you may also post your questions in the chat box.
No questions pertinent to this.
Yes.
Fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there are no questions. So can we go with the vote of thanks, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for the time and having me here. It's really fun and my pleasure to interact with the students, the graduates of human resource. Going forward, when you find every individual where you work in an organization or in your journey, my words to you people is find them more of human rather than seeing them more of a resource. You'll definitely be able to have a great journey with them. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, and as a formal vote of thanks. Yeah. So I thank Mr. Selvarajan JA for his valuable inputs in the topic Green Thumb. Hope this session helped everyone understand about Green Thumb. Thank you, sir. And I also like to thank our beloved HOD, Dr.N.C. Martin, for arranging this webinar. And I would like to thank Professor Subartini for her support to organize this webinar. Finally, I extend my gratitude to the participants from various professions and students. Once again, thank you all. Have a nice evening. The feedback link has been posted in the chat box, so kindly fill the same for those certificates. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.